Hi everyone. Public speaking is definitely not my thing. I'm totally freaked out, so it's fantastic to be here today. I am Sarah Harty. I'm the owner of the Gallery Cafe in Gort. I'm not originally from Gort. I moved there in 2003 from London, but I'm from Ashbourne, County Meath, because I fell in love with a 17th century gate lodge outside Gort. So for 2 years I was there, and I changed it into a guest house. It was guest house slash hostel slash Fawlty Towers, but it was fantastic for 2 years, and I was an artist and I painted and I taught kids art. So in 2005 I opened the Gallery Cafe in Gort after 2 years freezing in the gate lodge. So the Gallery Cafe was a hostel as well. That's why I moved in, so I could have the hostel upstairs and the cafe in the middle in the square in Gort. My business idea was, I don't come from a business background or catering background. I was just a bad waitress. And I probably still am, so I've great stuff. But my business idea was I'd paint pictures in the cafe part, and I'd have people staying up at the top floor, and I'd serve them coffee, make a few quid and chat with the locals. But obviously it got a bit more difficult than that. But this week we're open 13 years and I have 12 full-time people working for me. So I'm delighted. Thanks, Megan. So the Gallery Cafe has always been in gorgeous Gort. We started off on the square here, beside Sullivan's Hotel, and I was there for 5 years. And then, due to fire regulations, I got closed down, and I offered my landlord then money to buy the place for 350,000 at the time, but he needed or wanted 1.2, so that wasn't going to work. So I packed my bags and moved uptown in Gort. Uptown Gort sounds quite funny. Uptown Gort to old Glyn's Hotel, and I was there for 3 years, and that was my most stressful time in business, but I learned a lot, I suppose. It was a beautiful building. It was an 80-seater restaurant. I had 16 staff. I was driven demented. I had worked 60 hours, but I learned a lot of what I don't want in business now, I suppose, which was good for me. And then in 2.5 years in Queen Street, I was very lucky that the building in the market, the first building I was at, came up for sale in an all-sop auction. So I was very lucky to buy it at a really good price. Yeah, it was a really good day in the Shelburne. And my old landlord sent me a card and everything saying, well done. He doesn't come in for tea though. So I moved back, did up the building. I probably should show you a couple of photos. So, oh yeah, maybe I'll talk first and tell you about it, and then I'll show you the photos. So I did up the building, and I'll just tell you about the building. So it's a long, skinny old building beside Sullivan's Hotel in the Market Square in Gort. And on the basement floor is my kitchen, my bathroom, and we also found a well in the renovations which dates back to 1840 and it goes down 18 foot, which kids and adults love. And then the first floor, the ground floor, is my cafe restaurant. It's also an art gallery and a music venue, and that is 35 seaters. And then on the first floor we have a yoga studio, and we do kids meditation, and we do Sunday morning gigs as well at 11 o'clock. Indian Raja music, which is great for bringing the kids and stuff along. And we do, in the winter, life drawn. We have a lovely model, Katrina, she's German, that we paint or draw in the winter. And then the top floor I live. So that's my house. It's very handy for commuting. And I can eat cake all day, so it's brilliant. And that's the building, and I'll just say, just breaking it up there, on the cafe and restaurant of the building is my bread and butter. It's a 35-seater restaurant now. My food is simple, seasonal and local. We have amazing quality suppliers around the area. My butcher is next door, Yui in the butchers, and then I have O'Donoghue's up the road, and Peter as well, Flannery's. We get fish from New Quay, just beside Lenance. We have Michael Kennedy that makes all our pots, all our plates, our crockery, and he's just down the lane, and he shows us all how to make them every year. All the staff come, and we sing that ghost song, if you ever saw that film. And we make, so Michael does all our plates and bowls, and it's just down the lane beside us, which I think is amazing. And also every week, every Wednesday, Sarah Wall brings us flowers from her Burn Flower Farm. So everything is a touch from gorgeous Gort and 15 minutes out the road in the Gallery Cafe. My massive challenge in having a cafe and restaurant in a rural town, which has a population of 2,600, was getting a good chef for the place. Since my background is in art, I burnt a few scones at the start, but, so I needed to employ chefs. We have 2,000 chef shortage in Ireland at the moment, so that was very difficult. When I had the bigger place in Queen Street, we had head chefs, sous chefs, and they were all mental and driving me crazy, and they'd get really mad and leave, and it'd be a great day. And so I thought when I moved back to this premises, I wanted to simplify everything. And I had to look out in Gort what people are there that are happy, that are good workers, and that want to work. And it had to make my business more sustainable. So at that time, I was 8 years in business, so I had experience in the kitchen and catering. And I decided we have 800 fantastic Brazilian people in Gort, dying to work, amazing women. So now my kitchen is Brazilian women. Some don't speak English, but we work around it, give them direction, I design the menu, and they are my best pastry chefs, head chefs that I could ever ask for. They're like singing, they don't throw pans at you, they don't throw a mood like you have a bad relationship, that they're not your boyfriend or girlfriend. They're just fantastic women, so I'm blessed to have people in front of me. And I think for a sustainable business, you have to look at what your community is offering, who wants to work in the community that would work for you. Because finding a chef, trying to get one from Galway City Centre or Dublin, they're not going to stay around. And I'm blessed to have the Brazilian people living here. So that was my hardest challenge. I just have my notes, my very professional notes. So from the restaurant and the cafe, we also have an art gallery. Since that was where I started, I thought I could paint pictures and serve coffee. I only painted 2 pictures now in the last 13 years. But every month we have 2 artists exhibit in the cafe. For 11 months of the year. We close for 1 month a year because everyone goes on holidays, and in January you kind of should go away if you can. And so at the moment, or the exhibitions that are up, we have Sarah Wall's photography in the back of the cafe. She's the woman that brings me in flowers from the Burn Flower Farm. And then at the front at the moment we have like the art box by Shauna, and it's a teenager exhibition. So all the teenagers are delighted at the moment their art is up, and it encourages people to create. And sometimes the art sells, sometimes it doesn't, but really it's about showcasing artists in the area. You know, so we have like 22 artists exhibit in the place every year for the last 13 years. And it's just about getting your arse to get those paintings finished and getting them up on the walls. And then you can hopefully bring them to somewhere else or whatever. But the point is just to get them up there, just to showcase the local people and support local artists in your area. If the exhibition goes well, I don't take commission. I get a painting, whatever painting they want to give me. So I have I'm like the mad woman in a boot, is that the saying? Upstairs with loads of art, upstairs in my house, which is great. And we also have a music venue. Music and art and simple, good quality, seasonal, local food is all about what the Gallery Cafe is. And obviously the people of Gort are. So the music venue in 2005, we used to have jam sessions, which was great every Wednesday night. And it'd be singer-songwriters come every Wednesday. and and that connected me with the community when I opened at that time. I met great musicians, and they'd come in for business, and they'd tell their friends, and it was good crack. So I did that for 5 years, and then I moved to the bigger place, and it was harder to do because it was so big. And I moved back, and now we do 10 gigs. We do 10 gigs a year, and it's one Sunday evening a month. We've had Luca Bloom, who lives in Liscannor, still local musicians, but we take all the tables out of the front of the cafe, and we line up the chairs like that. And the musician is singing in the front of the building. So, on Sunday we have Ultan Conlon. He's from Loughrea. About 5 minutes left. All right. So I have 3 tickets for that if anyone wants to come, and it should be a great night at 8:30. But we've had Luca Bloom earlier on. We have Freddie White coming up, and Declan O'Rourke is playing as well. And Declan lives in Kinvara, so it is showcasing our amazing musicians in the area, which I'm very lucky to live in. So on the top floor, sorry, I'm probably going on a bit. On the top floor, then it's I have a yoga studio. We do kids meditation, and the Sunday gigs and the life drum. So will I be here in the next 13 years? Do I want to? As long as I'm having fun and enjoying what I do, and then I'll be here, obviously. But I was looking through photos for the last, I didn't even show you the photos, sorry, and I'm running out. I was looking at photos, like 13 years is a long time. And I hope to be here in the next 13 years. But I think if you support your local community, they will support you. You know, like I couldn't make a scone back in the day, but I still connected with the artists and the musicians and the teenagers. And they are people, and the potter down the road, and your man, the butcher, your man, Hughie. And I think that's important in a rural community. If you connect and support your community and see what's in front of you, that will make it sustainable. Yeah, so hopefully I will be 13. Jeez, I'll be ancient. But Gort is what people would probably know. Gort is Gorgeous Gort. You know, it would have that name about it. I'll show you, but can I have time to flick through these photos now? So I started off, and all these women are still, you know, they all still come in. You know, Mary in the middle now, like I ring her in case, if her name isn't down on a Friday night, we're like, oh, where's Mary? She's not coming out for dinner. It's all my customers. This is one of our first gigs. It's Fatima. She lives in the Burn, and she's a flamenco dancer. And then we're very big into St. Patrick's Day parade. We don't dress like that in Gort all the time. And that's in Queen Street, Macy. It's in Queen Street with the white tablecloths. It was a little bit posher for 2.5 years. That is out my bedroom window at the top floor with the snow. Then I did up the building. So I took the plaster off it, and the arch was exposed. It's the original arch. And that's some just music playing, the cafe. Our food is local and seasonal and simple. That's the main thing. They're the gorgeous flowers from Sarah Wall from the Burn Flower Farm, all grown locally. And they just make me happy every Wednesday. And that's Michael Kennedy and all our staff every month, every year we go make plates, and Michael makes us plates and bowls every year. And his studio is just 2 minutes down the road. Oh, my Uncle James. My Uncle James grows berries for the cafe. He used to make me jam in the Gate Lodge, and he grows me berries now, and he's from Ballinasloe. So Uncle James is great. And that's some of my staff there. Oh, I also have to thank, I'm really scatty, so if I didn't have amazing staff, I definitely would not be here. So I'm very lucky at the moment to have really, really good staff that are positive people, that are trustworthy and happy. I think that's really important. Macy's my oldest customer. She's 93, and she comes in for a glass of Sauvignon at lunch every day. And yeah, and she knows everything. She should be up here and talking about the history of Gort. She tells, and she talks to the whole customers. I would love to employ Macy, but she'd rather drink her Sauvignon now. And that's our Sunday gigs. It's great with kids and Indian music. Your man is from up the road. And that's our kids' meditation with Lulu Rose. Kids love it. I suppose it's good for kids to deal with being stressed. Oh, I forgot, we're right at the back of the building. I have a wall garden, so I'm trying to get that going with my Uncle James and grow our own herbs and lettuce and flowers. I don't know about my green fingers just yet, but hopefully soon. And this is cake. So I think we should all eat cake now. It's lunchtime. So thank you.